Good morning, children. We are starting our next class now with modal verbs. Okay. Now I have taught you all the rest of the chapters beforehand. So now I'll be starting from chapter 104. Okay. Now what do we have in this chapter? First of all, we have got uses of can and could and may and might. You will find out here, see it's written down, can and could and may and might. Okay, now where do we use can and could? Can and could are used to denote ability. First of all, suppose I say so and so can play well. Okay, here it's given Rita can sing well. These are all words, sentences which are denoting ability, some knowledge or some skill. Suppose I say a person's name and I say he or she can write well. Okay, so that is an ability. Okay, a skill. Now the next, seek and grant permission. Can I say something? When you all used to stand up in the class, you all used to tell us, ma'am, can I say the answer? So that is seeking and granting permission. You can say the answer. Or when I say you cannot say the answer. So when I say can, it's in an affirmative form. When I say could, it's a negative form. Okay. Now the next, making a request. Can you lend me a pencil? Can you let me go out for the washroom, or can you let me go out to play? So this is making a request. Okay. Now the next, make an offer or a suggestion to help. I can help you find the place. I can help you to do your work. Okay. These are all making an offer or suggestion to help. Okay, children. Now see, there are some other things which I would like to tell you all. When you come down here, just see. There are some other things which are given about in the green box there. See there. Can is used to make requests in a direct and informal way. Can is used in an informal and in a direct way. Okay. And could and would are used for making less direct and for more polite requests. Okay. Could is the past form of can also. Understood? And might is the past form of may. When we say may, you might have done this work. That means it's in the past form. You may do this work. That means you may do it now in the present form. Okay. Now see the next part. May and might. Okay. May and might are used mostly in formal situations to denote, first of all, a chance. It may rain tonight. It may be a very hard question paper. A chance. Okay. Next is seeking and granting permission. You may start writing now. When you all used to give your exams, we used to say, children, you all may start writing now. Okay. The next is refusal or permission sought. May I take a day's leave? You might not. Okay. I'm afraid you may not. Okay. So these are seeking permission and also refusal. Everywhere we use may. The next is wishes, hopes and prayers. That is, may his soul rest in peace. Okay. May peace prevail on this beautiful world. All these are wishes, prayers and all. Okay, children. Now just see here in the green box, what do you have? Just see. Might is also another meaning. In the context of possibility, may and might are interchangeable. How? The only difference between meaning of may and might is that the latter denotes something less probable or less certain. That is might. The word might, it denotes that it is less probable. Okay. Or less certain. That means it might happen, it might not happen. Okay, children. Now coming down here. Wait once. Now coming down, Let me go to your exercises. Just see. The first one. You are allowed to leave early today. It's given there. Informal permission. How will you write? You can leave early today. Okay. Now the next. You are not allowed to leave early today. What will you write in a formal refusal? You cannot leave early today. So, what is given in the question first? Rewrite the sentences using can, can't, could, couldn't, may, might, may not and might not. Wait once. Okay. Now see number 3. Is it okay if my sister comes along with me to your birthday party? Okay, it's an informal. So, can my sister come along with me to your birthday party? Can my sister come along with me? Okay. Next, is it possible to bring my cat along with me to the class picnic? So, what will I write? Formally seeking permission. May I bring my cat? Okay, it's seeking permission. So, may I bring my cat along with me to the class picnic? Okay. Now, number 5. It is not possible for you to come with us. If you bring your cat, it is not possible for you to come with us. So, how will you refuse? Refusal to permission sought. You cannot. Okay. You cannot come with us. Just see, I have marked there for you. You cannot come with us. Okay. Now the next. Will it be possible for you to lend me some money? That is informal and between friends. So what will I write? Can you lend me some money? It's an informal between friends. Can you lend me some money? Now when this becomes a polite request, will it be possible for you to lend me some money? Then what will you write? Could you please? Okay, it's a polite request. So at that time, what will you say? Could you please lend me some money? Okay. Now the next. It looks like it is going to rain this evening. A possibility, a weak possibility. So what will I write? It might rain this evening. Okay. Now the next one. Ability. Rani is able to dance very well. Ability. Rani can dance very well. Okay. Now the next, number 10. Her friend is not likely to visit her this time. A weak chance. Her friend might not visit her this time. Okay. Now see here, there are some sentences given. Read the sentences. The 4 sentences above are similar in meaning, but they differ in the degree of politeness. Okay. Turn your page. Just see here. The first imperative sentences is a direct order and the least polite. Okay. Just see. Open the door. It's a direct sentence and it's very less polite. The next one, among all other sentences, the second sentence is more polite than the first one and the tone is informal. What is it? Can you open the door? So, the tone is a little more polite. Okay. The third sentence is a polite request. What is in the third sentence? Would you open the door for me? It's a polite request. Okay. Now the next one, the fourth sentence is the most formal and polite in tone. Among all the 4 sentences, the fourth one is the most polite. What is it given? Could you please open the door? That's the most polite sentence given. Okay. Now the 5th sentence is an informal invitation. What is the 5th sentence? Just see here. Could we meet over a cup of tea tomorrow evening? It's an informal sentence with a invitation there. Okay. And The sixth sentence is a polite refusal to the invitation. How do we refuse? Just see here. Sorry, I would not be able to come as I have an appointment at that time. So it's a refusal. We all know these sentences because we generally talk in this manner with our friends. Okay. But still, I'm going to solve these sentences for you all. Okay. If you find any problem, please contact with me during your class hours. Okay, children. Now coming down. Use suitable models to change the following sentences according to the instructions given in brackets. Okay. Number 1. Buy me a pen. A polite request. Can you please buy me a pen? Okay. Number 2. Keep the place in proper order. Informal request. Could you keep the place in proper order? Informal request. Could you keep the place in proper order? Now the third one. Show me the way. Informal request. Could you show me the way? Informal request. Could you show me the way? Okay. The fourth one. Show me the way. Informal, polite request. Could you please show me the way? Okay. Now number 5. Show me the way. Formal request with the highest degree of politeness. Can you please show me the way? Okay. When you write the most polite way, we say, can you please show me the way? Okay. Now number 6. You must keep quiet while the assembly is going on. Polite, formal request. Can you please keep quiet while the assembly is going on? Now number 7 is form a kiwi. Informal request. Could you form a kiwi? Okay. Bring me a glass of water. Informal, polite request. Could you please bring me a glass of water? Okay. Number 9. Let us have lunch together. Formal, polite invitation. Can we have lunch together? Formal, polite invitation. Can we have lunch together? It is not possible for me to go out as I am very busy in the office. Formal refusal. What will we write? Sorry. Well, we will be writing one sorry here. Okay. I could not show you all here. I am just telling you all. You will be writing one sorry there. Sorry, it would not be possible for me to go out as I am very busy in the office. Sorry, it would not be possible for me to go out as I am very busy in the office. Okay. Okay. So this much now. Now we have got must, ought to and need and dare. Where do we use all these 4 modal verbs? Okay. Now where do we use must? When it is a strong obligation, he must speak the truth. A strong obligation there. Okay. A compulsion. You must report to school by tomorrow. A compulsion. Okay. Now the third one is necessity. Necessity means India must play the football match tomorrow. Okay. Or India must make education available to all in order to become a developed country. It's a necessity. Okay. The children must attend the school during their examinations. Okay. A necessity. Now ought to. Where do we use ought to? We use ought to for a moral duty. Okay. You ought to obey your parents. A moral duty. An obligation. A moral obligation. What is that? Nafisa ought to speak more carefully to her teacher. An obligation there. She might not have spoken to her teacher properly. So when we say ought to, what do we say? Nafisa ought to have spoken to her teacher properly. Okay. The next is need. Okay. Sorry, wait. Ought to we also use for recommendation and for local deduction. Now what is recommendation? Recommendation means when we just recommend something. Okay. A moral obligation means when we tell somebody not to do something and when we recommend something. So the sentence here, Nafisa ought to have spoken to her teacher properly, is a recommendation also. Okay. Now the next is local deduction. What is that? Local deduction. Just see when I come down. Your teacher left home half an hour ago. She ought to be here any moment. A deduction of time. So your teacher left here a long time ago. So she ought to be here now. Okay, she ought to reach home by now. Your father might have reached home on time, but you all think father have left the office half an hour ago. So he ought to be home now. Okay. Now the next part. Just see here, when do we use need? Obligation in questions. Okay, what is that? Need I be bothered about this problem? When it is an obligation and it's a question form. Okay, need we do this for our question paper? It's an obligation and in question form. Okay, now the next is dare. Not afraid of doing something. Dare you agree with me about this issue? Okay, so that is not afraid of doing something. Somebody who is very daring. The next, need not. Absence of obligation. You need not come for practice tomorrow. That's an absence of obligation. So, you need not do so. It's an absence of obligation. There is no obligation there. You need not do so. Okay. The next is dare not. Afraid of doing something. Please be afraid of doing this. You dare go out at night. Be afraid of going out at night. Okay. Must not. Strong prohibition. What is that? You must not do this work. You must not talk with one another while crossing the road. You must not handle knives and forks when you are at home. You must not put the gas oven on when you are alone at home. So it's a strong prohibition. Should not be done. Okay. The next is ought not. That is also a prohibition. What is that? You ought not talk among ourselves when our teacher is saying something. A prohibition. We should not. If you say ought not, even then it is correct. We ought not talk to ourselves when our teacher is teaching to us in the classroom. Okay, children? So when we come down, just see here. One must be disciplined to become successful in life. Number 1 is necessity. Number 2, Sunita ought to respect all human beings, a moral duty. Okay. The next is number C. Hashmi is so scared of his class teacher that he does not ask her questions, very afraid. When you are very afraid, he dare not ask her questions. Okay. Hashmi is so scared of his class teacher that he dare not ask her questions. He is very afraid. The next is, needn't I wait for you outside the station? Obligation. Need I wait for you outside the station? An obligation there. Obligation in question. Need I wait for you outside the station? Okay. The next is, my father started from home for an hour ago to pick me up from school. He ought to be here. Okay. Ought. He ought to be here within 5 minutes. But then if you write he must be here, even then it's not wrong. You can write. Okay. Now the next part. I needn't call him up on his mobile. Absence of obligation. I needn't call him up. Okay. Number G, the last date for the submission of subscription for the class picnic is tomorrow. I must submit it tomorrow. A compulsion there. I must submit it tomorrow. Number H, we ought to be kind to animals. Our moral duty. Okay. Number HI. Dare you challenge Nita to a tennis match? Not afraid. Dare you challenge Nita? That is not afraid. Okay. Number J. You must not lie to your parents. Strong prohibition. You must not. Done. Now this part I'm just showing you all. Okay. I'll not explain you all. If you find any problem, you will tell me. Then I'll solve it up for you. This shows me whether you all are following my explanation or not. Just see here this part. All the answers I have marked for you. Okay. Just go through the answers. If you find any problem, whether you are understanding or not, please tell me. Okay, children? Okay. So, thank you.